Frequent. One of 8. New tab. Profile 1. Microsoft Edge Win.
Oh dear, what happened? Sorry, 1 minute.
Live streaming.
Show quick links. Button. Collapse.
Oh, so sorry. I have to use my phone. Something wrong with the computer.
Enter your search term. Voice search.
Okay.
Narrator dialog. Close. Button. Heads up. Desktop list. Zoom. 12. Narrator window. Narrator heading level 1.
Oh dear.
Turn off narrator. Window. Don't show this mess. Exiting narrator.
Okay. Good evening, Dr. Prabhu.
Good evening, Madam
Happy
Lee.
New Year to you. 2022.
We missed you last week.
Sorry. Yes, last week I'm having a meeting also. Okay. Yeah, good evening, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, respectful company directors, Terahertz leaders, members, and also a big welcome to all our guests over the globe this evening. I'm Teresa from Alostar, north of Malaysia. And it is such a joy that we can meet again with Dr. Prabhu. We really, really enjoy all his very good health information and advices, the knowledge. We have really gained so much. Yes, last week, Dr. Prabhu mentioned about the nature's challenge. Still, there are many people suffering from not having proper drinking water. I think this is something that faced all over the globe. And in reality, nothing really changed, even though through this new year, Dr. Prabhu mentioned, but we human beings, unless we change our mindset, right, Doctor?
Yep.
For something new challenges for this new year. Yeah. So even though we have get to know about this Terahertz, it's in the market for almost 2 years, but there are still a lot of people out there due to ignorance or not informed or not knowledgeable about this new, the latest technology. Yeah. So hopefully that through this platform, we are able to spread more info about this good water, the benefits of Terahertz water, how essential and how good it is for us human beings, even plants, animals all around us. So this water has really helped a lot of people. Even through this beginning of the year, like Dr. Prabhu has mentioned, there are so many people who come to you for water. So here, thank God that I enjoyed my last year holidays with my grandchildren, my children. We haven't been met up because of COVID, but thank God that we have some good time, family time together. And so through this, Dr. Prabhu has mentioned and also here with us to share more about this goodness and benefits of Terahertz water. In this new era, every day, our topic still caught up with the COVID situation and more new names, Omicron, all this Delta thing, right? But thank God that this evening, our Dr. Prabhu, he mentioned there are always a silver lining in the dark cloud. What an encouragement for every one of us. And this evening title is Men's Prostate Health and Terahertz Water. I believe it is a very interesting and yet a very important topic for all men. So I urge even right now, I hope many of us can still invite our friends and relatives to join us this evening, because you will find we have accommodate 1,000 audience for our Zoom. So the problem of prostate is something which all men are much dread and concerned, yet it is closely related to the consumption of water. Right, doctor?
Yes.
So, doctor, thank you that you are such a very influential and knowledge about the water. So our Dr. Prabhu is from Golden Hands Epigenetic Solutions. And his main desire is to bring us health resolution through this epigenetic. So I hope without much delay, we can give our Dr. Prabhu more time to share with us on this important topic. Stay tuned, and at the end, if you have any questions, please write down in the chat box, okay? And I hope all of us could mute ourselves so that we will not have any interruption to our Dr. Prabhu's sharing. Thank you. So without any ado, let's invite Dr. Prabhu. To you, Dr. Prabhu.
You. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Lee, for this wonderful introduction and basically giving a beautiful intro of not only terahertz but in general, so that people who are all here can have a little bit of glimpse of what we are going to tell. And it's a privilege for me that I am down here with you all to share my experience, not only as a doctor, but I would say as a beautiful human being. We are all here on a purpose. And whatever knowledge we have gained, it's all in this platform of Mother Earth. It's nothing we bring along with us and nothing we are going to carry along with us. So in that way, sharing the knowledge is such a beautiful experience, and I am enjoying every moment of this platform and can't believe that I have completed almost 52, that is 1 year of my giving this different episodes for one total year of 365 days. And today is the 53rd one. So the prostate health. Now the most beautiful part of this topic today, which I have been thinking of giving this topic a little bit of glimpse, so that many of the men down there, and they do face an issue where they don't know that it is because of the prostate, but many a times they ignore it, and then finally when there is a situation and when you go to the doctor, and doctor will say yes, you have a little bit of enlargement of prostate. But when you see the word prostate, it can be split into two words as pro and state. That means pro is a good state of health, pro is a positive state of your health. So we can take it on the other side also. So as long as you have a pro state of health, there shall be no disease coming into you, be it prostate or be it any other disease. So we all should have a pro state of health, state in which our mind, our body, and of course our spirit all align together, so that we are able to enjoy good health. And when we are living here, we need good health. And the best part of our journey is there are so many information out there in terms of threatening you that you have this problem, and then you will have this problem, and then you have this complication, and so many people died. Now this is a fear that most of us are scared of. And let me tell you, most of us, irrespective of whoever it is, we all are scared of death. This is something which I have seen in my medical practice of 33 years. Death is something people don't accept it. But what I would say is, there is one country in the world which speaks about preparation, basically how to die. That's in Tibet, where they teach you how to die. So that means you need to prepare yourself for dying or leaving your mortal remains of your body. But that's on one side. Imagine every day once, of course, if you can visualize that you're going to leave this mortal remains and go one day. I think when the day comes for you to leave the body, you wouldn't have any fear at all. Now once you don't have the fear, then the next step is we all will start working on how do we become healthy. In that way, this is a particular subject which I have been into for almost 6 years now, something called epigenetics. Is something new but something beautiful and old for almost 15 years. The Western countries have been talking about epigenetics, and people have been working on this particular area to not only treat diseases, they have been able to prevent diseases, they are able to put you onto the road of good health. So basically, you want to go to a beautiful healthy lifestyle, you should look into something called epigenetics. It's basically your food habits, your environment, what are the kinds of toxins and poisons you're all exposed to. So we need to work on those areas to prevent them from giving you a lot of problems and in terms of diseases. So coming back to our prostate health, prostate health, it's basically a very very simple gland wherein it's something like a walnut size, and it's like a cone shape, cone shape, and situated between the sides of your urethra. It's basically for men, so women can say cheers that you don't have a prostate, so you don't have to worry about it. But for men, it is something which is there, and many of us don't even look into it unless when you're 50 plus, and suddenly when you go to the doctor and when you're not able to pass urine very freely, then the doctor will say, hey, you have something called prostate enlargement. So this is something, what you see in the picture is just below your bladder, wherein bladder is basically the urine gets collected there, and once it's full, you will feel like passing urine, and then you will go to the washroom and clear your urine. This is what it's a natural process. Now when you're looking at the prostate basic function, what does it do? Why should men have this? Now prostate is basically a supportive organ for the male reproductive system. Now this is in the God's creation that we all are here for a procreation, procreation of your own species. Now in that, for a man, this particular gland produces some fluid, which basically nourishes your sperm, which is going to fertilize the egg in a woman. Now for the sperm to travel all the way to fertilize, this particular prostate fluid is something which will give an extra nutrition for the sperms for it to swim and go across and then fertilize the egg. So there is an additional extra energy. It's like a boost for the your sperms. Now this is a very very simple and basic function, and which is there for most of the men as long as they are all in the reproductive age. But there is something called andropause, wherein men also can have a situation where, like a woman who have a menopause, men also can have something called andropause, wherein they wouldn't be able to produce any more children. This doesn't happen for all the men out there. We have seen men 80 plus also having a kid. So in that way, it is all rare possibilities, but still there is something called andropause for men. Now there is something very very commonly we all see is something called benign is a something very slow prostatic hyperplasia. That means this particular gland, what you see in the picture there on the right side, you see it's a little bit bigger. Now what happens when it is slightly bigger, what will happen is it tries to put a pressure on the tube wherein the urine has to pass out, and that particular area there will be a pressure wherein, that means from the bladder the urine will not be able to come very freely. You just go in the toilet and then go on waiting and waiting, the urine will start dribbling down. Even though you try to give a little pressure and try to pass the urine will not come. Now during this time, what will happen is you will think as though the urine is not there and there is only little urine, and you passed whatever little urine you have passed, and you go back and sleep. Once again, after another 1-2 hours, you feel like there is urine, and then you want to come down. So you go to the washroom once again, you trying to pass, the pressure is there, but the urine doesn't come. So what is happening? As you see in the third thing, there is a weak urine stream. There is no force in the urine. Now, when something like this, many a times we would feel that there is some problem in the urinary system. So what normally we will do, we will try to drink more water, because we think that the urine is not appropriate enough to come out. So you will think that there's less urine and you want to drink more water and try to now just imagine your bladder is already filled with urine and you're trying to pass urine, so the bladder will start contracting. When the bladder is contracting and there is a blockage outside the outlet there where the urine cannot go, so what can happen is there is a pressure buildup in your bladder, and that particular urine which is supposed to be there from the bladder to go out into the passage of the male urethra, the urine can go retrograde back to the kidneys. There are two tubes going back, right? That tube, the urine can go back, and then if it is a long standing urine, means you have not passed urine for a little longer period of more than 6 hours or 7 hours, there can be an infection happening inside the urine there. Now, this is a very common problem if you are a diabetic, especially if you are a diabetic. Chances of urinary infection is very, very common in men down there. Now, if there is a urinary infection, okay, if it is a very common wherein you feel burning sensation in the urine, it's still okay. You drink probably a tender coconut or barley water, it gets washed off, and then you will feel okay. But many times the burning urination will be so painful that you don't want to pass urine. You will feel like you want to pass, but you don't want to pass because you feel the burning sensation, so you don't want to pass urine. So in that stage, that's when you will say, okay, fine, let me go to the doctor and see. But when you go to the doctor, of course he will do a urine test and see, and the urine, you will see that there is an infection. So when there is an infection, of course the doctor will give you some antibiotics. So once you take the antibiotics, the urinary infection gets cleared and you are okay. But if you're going to get the same problem 1 month, 3 times, 4 times, then that is when you think, hey, is it something to do with my prostate gland? That is when you need to get back to the doctor and then normally get yourself fully examined, so that you know whether there is a benign enlargement of the prostate. Now, even by doing a scanning of your abdomen, the doctors normally will see how big is your prostate and what is the weight of the prostate, and then and normally the weight of the prostate, anything below 20 grams is still okay, but anything above that, that means it's slightly bigger. So as long as it's in the smaller size, it's still okay. Your urination, there won't be any symptoms. Now this is a very common problem what men is having, is the benign enlargement of prostate. Now who can get this? Anybody above 40 years can get it, but when you look at the normal people who will get this problem is when you are all above 55 years to 60 years. That is when your prostate gland will be slightly bigger than normal, and then you will start having some urinary issues, and already you will be having some diabetic, then blood pressure, then cardiac issues. All these are there. So what happens is you are so engrossed in those diseases, you will not think that you will have a issue with your prostate. Now this is the commonest problem we all face. There is something in men which prostate cancer is also quite a common which we see is this will be something like your benign prostate, but there is a cancer going on inside the prostate. Now you might have a little bit of back pain, like what other cancer patients do face, but the only way we all can go and see is get a scanning done, get a proper examination done by the doctor, get a scanning as I told you, then you can get a blood test done to see what is the level of there is something called PSA which can be tested. Now who is at risk, especially if you are prostate cancer, if you are looking at, if you are a smoker, okay, now just imagine if you are a smoker, it's very, very commonly seen the prostate cancer is there. Of course lung cancer can come, your stomach cancer can be there, all these are there, but for men prostate cancer is also one of the risk where we are all exposed to cancer. Now as I told you, I think I've discussed this before, where cancer cells most of the time is there in our body between 1000 to 1500. Cancer cells is still okay, normal, but we won't know where exactly these particular cancer guys are. They will be loitering around in our body freely. They will be moving around, but we wouldn't know where exactly they will go settle down there. It's like we all buy one big flat, and we settle down building, and then finally until we die we are in the same house. Something like that. The cancer cells also in our human body, it can go to the brain, it can go to the lungs, it can go to your stomach, it can go to your kidneys, anywhere it can go. So in men it can go to the prostate also. So when you are looking at prostate cancer, so if you are a smoker, you are giving an eligibility for your own self to get cancer. But many times you will get very happy seeing a person, maybe he's 80 years old, he has been a chronic smoker, and then he dies off. But when you probably this particular person didn't have any diseases, no cancer and no even diabetes or blood pressure, but he lived a healthy life and he died. Now, when you see him, what you will think? You will also feel, okay, fine, let me also smoke, nothing. But for your kind information, if hundreds people are smoking, only 2 people out of them will be very healthy. The remaining 98 people will have some problem or the other in terms of diseases, and it can be cancer as well, and all the other blood vessel related like atherosclerosis can be there. If you get atherosclerosis, you can get a stroke, you can get a heart attack, you can get a kidney issues. There can be so many problems just because of your vessel becoming thicker because of smoking. Now, we do not know in the 98, you are the 2% of the people where you won't have a disease, or you are in the 98% of the people where you have a disease. We don't know. But there is another area where you all need to, like if you have your father who you suffered from prostate cancer and he passed away, then of course you need to be a little more careful, and you get yourself checked, and then proper assessment has to be done when there is a family history. And then if you are on the heavyweight side, a BMI of around 35 to 40 or a little oversized, then you are at risk. Now, why should a huge body person or a heavyweight person should? Because many times the blood circulation will be hampered, number one. Number two is the free radical damage can happen in these people. And number four, there can be metabolic issues like diabetes will be there. There are a lot of diseases which is running in this huge people, but we do not know exactly what is happening inside. So one of the risks is, if you are on the heavier side as a man, prostate cancer is definitely much more, you are eligible for it, you are prone for it. Other than that, if you are being exposed to radiation, now why, see, radiation means you went for a situation where we are talking about cancer of other things, that is when the radiation happens. But let me tell you, radiation is something we all can get exposed. Everybody can be exposed to the radiation. From where? It's from the sun rays, it's from the environmental. Do you know that 50 to 60% of the sun rays coming out with the pollution, if you are living in a compound where there are no problem, no pollution at all, like in Amazon jungle or in a forest where there is no much of pollution, then you are safe. But we all are living in a city, definitely we are at the risk of getting exposed to the cancer cells. Why? Because we are getting exposed to the radiation. Now, radiation indirectly definitely has an eligibility for you to create more situation for a cancer cell. Now, other than that, of course, when you are being older, 60 plus, you are prone for a cancer. It is there, unless you follow a very, very strict regime of, regular exercise, proper eating habits, more of alkaline food, drinking terahertz water. Like this, if you have a proper disciplined lifestyle, maybe you will be spared from any of the situation where we let it be cancer or any other disease can be prevented to a limited extent. But still, let me tell you, on this planet Earth, we don't know who is going to get what. It is like a gambling game, but let's do our job of taking care of our health to the best of our abilities and leave the rest. If it is happening, it is happening, you have to face it. Now, the third one problem what a man can face is something called prostatitis. That means there is an inflammation of the prostatic gland. Now it is commonly seen among men below 50 years, very commonly seen. Now what will happen is they can have a little bit of pain and swelling in that particular area, and then while passing urine you may have a little pain, you may have fever, and when you visit a doctor and when you tell you have a burning sensation and you feel the pain there, it's a very nagging kind of pain at that particular area, and you can't explain but you will have the pain. And that's when you go and visit a doctor, of course doctor, for them to specifically find out that you do have prostatitis, is they will do an examine by putting the finger from behind, and then when they touch this particular gland it will be very painful, and then the doctor knows that you are having a prostatitis. Now when there is, but of course when you talk about the treatment of course they will give you some antibiotic and anti-inflammatory painkillers, and then after 7 days to 10 days of course everything will be fine. If it doesn't come on, they will probably get your urine test and then get more information, and then from there they will start treating. This is another area. So there are three situations where you all can face the problem. One is your benign hyperplasia, that means the gland is becoming bigger, that's because of the age. Number two is your cancer. Number three is your inflammation, that is prostatitis. Now when you look at all the three conditions, there is something we all get your blood test done as something very specific for the prostate, is something called the prostate specific antigen. It's called PSA. Anything below 4 is considered as normal, and anything above 5 is to be considered that there is something going on there in your prostate. But this one, the doctor has to monitor you. If it is 5 and above, whether it's going above 10 or 15 or 20, when it's higher the number, that means the risk is very high, and then the doctors know what to do. They will probably investigate you for further, especially most of the time when the PSA is high, they will look in for cancer. Now this is the medical part. You have a disease, then you run into the doctor's chamber. They will do whatever necessary for you to check whether you really have it's just a benign, whether it's just a slow growing your prostate, or it's something to do with cancer. The doctors will do the required assessment for you. Now what we all should understand is we need to take care of our prostate health naturally. Now when you look at the natural ingredient, there are 5 ingredients which is very commonly used. One is your saw palmetto. If you go to any pharmacy and ask for men's health, they will give you some products which will definitely contain the saw palmetto, and then the stinging nettle, then pumpkin seeds is very common, and such of those who are all eating tomatoes in your salads, it contains lycopene. Lycopene is a very good support for your prostate health. Now if you look at the benefits of this particular natural ingredients, now the commonest what we all can do is the pumpkin seeds, is which you can buy from any the bakery products they sell, and they do have this pumpkin seeds, or you can go to any organic shop and then they will have the pumpkin seeds. So every day if you can consume around 15 to 25 grams, a little bit, you can actually fry this pumpkin seeds in a ghee, and then use a little bit of bamboo salt, mix it up, and then if you can consume this regularly, most of the men, what can happen is it can reduce the effect of getting a hyperplasia of your prostate. Now this is all natural I'm talking, and of course if you look at the medical line of treatment is different. I'm not going into that, but let me talk about the natural. When you go to a pharmacy and buy a prostate health product, they will be giving you something called C. Hawthorne. That is another product available which will be helping your inflammation. So but ultimately if you see, all these products will bring down the inflammation, and it will prevent your free radical damage. That means there is some antioxidant oxidation happening, and you need to take something called antioxidant. Now when you're talking about antioxidants, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin C, these are all antioxidant, and which is a natural vitamin which you can consume, and which will have a anti-inflammatory situation, and then it will help you to reduce the free radical damage. Now the beauty of Terahertz water down here is it does have all the anti-inflammatory properties as well. It has got an antibacterial effect, antiviral effect, antifungal effect, anti-radiation effect, and anti-aging effect. And so, in that way, when you are looking at the benefits of drinking terahertz water, there is a lot of good benefits. Naturally, it can help you to clear your urine, and then if there is any bacteria also, it can get cleansed, and then probably you can have a healthy lifestyle, healthy urinary tract system you can have when you're drinking the terahertz water. So now I have been drinking this for almost 1 year and 3 months, and then absolutely no issues. There's one thing probably most of you would have noticed is the moment you drink terahertz water, the next 30 minutes to 45 minutes you will feel like clearing your urine, and then you will wish to go to the washroom to clear it up. So that means there is some good benefits of washing, like kidney washing. It does happen, and then it will help you to clear your whatever. And especially there is one good benefit you will get is if your urine is very concentrated, you will feel the burning sensation. When you drink terahertz water, what happens is it dilutes. Now this natural dilution you would have probably seen when you're drinking barley, when you're drinking tender coconut, and probably if you have tried drinking the drink wherein 1 glass of water where you use a little bit of cooking baking powder and half a lime, you just mix it up, and when you drink it you will feel like passing more urine. So that means there is a cleansing process happening. So it's basically something like when you drink alkaline water also you will feel like passing more urine. So that effect is always there if you're going to drink alkaline water. Now these are the common naturally prostate health. There is one more important thing which I will tell you before I'm closing down my talk today. What vitamin you need to take that will help you for a better prostate health. Now, many times by the time we realize it's too late, that the prostate is already enlarged, and then finally you will start looking at solutions. How do I do? And then most of the time you want natural solutions, and it is possible, but many a times the once the disease sets in, for it to reverse back also it will take its own sweet time. But most of us don't have the patience to follow certain strict guidelines, and follow strict measures to prevent the disease further progressing. And especially if it is cancer, it's a much more traumatic situation for every one of us. And for us to come out of it, that the word cancer itself is a big tension for us. And then and now why we get into that situation is death is the only thing that we all look at. That's where we get scared. But if you're not scared of death, then I think cancer shouldn't be a problem. Then we know what to do. Now many times what is a disease is basically you're out of ease. That's when you get a disease. This is a very simple definition of disease. Is you split the word into dis and ease. So you're out of basically being ease. But many times, let me tell you, your body will be speaking to you and telling you, hey, look, take care of me. There is some problem happening inside. Better take care of me. But many times what we do is we are so engrossed in our job, we are so engrossed in our business, we are so engrossed in whatever activities we are doing. When the body speaks, we don't listen. Simple example, you feel thirsty, you don't drink water. So the body is already telling you, I need water, please drink something, but you are so busy. Now when you feel thirsty, many a times you should just drink water, nothing else. But what you and I would do is, when you have a Coke next to you, or a Pepsi next to you, you will just drink that. Do you know the acidity created by all these aerated drinks? It's quite high. And how many times do you understand that the bottled drink, whatever you're drinking, is very, very acidic, and your body doesn't need it, but you are used to it, and you feel it's a pleasure for you, and it's your what I would say, it's a 20th your 21st century. What you feel is like an youngster, we feel that's something you take it as your, it's okay. No, when you say it's okay, uh, you feel it's no issues at all, but your body doesn't want it. So at least drinking a plain water will help you, and that too today we have the terahertz water. So why shouldn't you drink the terahertz water and speak to people, and then let them know that there is something like this, and they also can consume. Give them few cans of water and let them try it out, and automatically they should be able to get back. Like last week, the personalized experience. One person, she was in her 40s, and she did just take 2 bottles of terahertz, and then I gave her the spray, and she did drink the water, and she said, "Doc, every time I climb the stairs, I used to get knee pain. But now I am drinking this water, my knee pain is not there." This is number one, the first benefit she said. Then the second benefit she said was she sprayed the terrace water on her face, and she said, "My face looks more hydrated and looks more brighter." This is the second benefit she told me. Then the third benefit she told me was her hair fall has stopped. Now, three benefits in just 1 week after drinking terrace water. Now, each individual, in that way, what I would say is each individual will have different experiences, but we do not know who is going to gain how. But definitely, there is some good news is this water is doing some miracle. This water is doing some magic. This water is a necessity for us. So, drinking this water is going to help us. So, why not drink the water? Now, most of us, this is a common problem we all face, is 80 to 90%. By the time you see your medical report, you start scratching your head. But there is one very sad state where I notice among the people down there is they all would have taken insurance. Now, just because they take an insurance, does it mean you're protected from the disease? No. Of course, you get a disease, you go get admitted in the hospital. Those guys will, of course, pay the bill for you. Now, don't feel happy when someone is paying the bill for you, please. The reason is, how much of money are you paying for the insurance? Maybe around 3,000 ringgits. But you just imagine for 1 year you pay 3,000 ringgits, and at the end of the day, the company or the insurance company, you just go get admitted in IGN or for a cardiac surgery, you get paid almost 50,000. Now, from where the remaining 47,000 the company is paying you? Someone has to pay you, isn't it? You think the company is so rich that they are donating you 47,000 ringgits for you to get admitted in IGN and get treated? No, there is someone else paying for you. Now, insurance is good for you, absolutely. I have no issues on that. But can we all look at something more bigger than that? Can we all be more healthier? Now, to be healthy, what's a problem in drinking water? There shouldn't be any problem. Drink water, sufficient water. Drink, other than that, take the right kind of food, especially a lot of alkaline food, fruits, vegetables, your food habits, regular exercise, breathing exercise. Why can't you do all this? These are all very, very important. Now, in spite of doing all this, you're going to get a disease. Then your insurance, whatever you're paying, it's okay, no problem, because you have done your basic groundwork, and then in spite of that, you're getting a disease. It's beautiful. But thinking that you have insurance and then you are totally carefree and careless, and then once the disease comes in, maybe initial stages you are still okay because you get compensated by the bill payment, it's still okay. But imagine if you're going to get a major diseases, something which is not easy for you to handle, that time you can't do anything. So better take care of yourself, which is very, very important. Every day is important for you, so avoid the disease coming into you. So health is the foremost important in today's challenging situation. Invest a little time and dedication to prevent the diseases. Now, whether you like or not, today we are talking about COVID. Then after COVID-19 came the Omicron. Then came the Delta virus. Then after the Delta, there was another group of virus came in, the branch of Delta. Now today Omicron is there. Now, there will be thousands of diseases, thousands of viruses coming to you every day for the next 100 years, 200 years. Yes, scientists are working on that, because for them the job is to find out, is there any new organism. They have been paid for it. They will do their job. It is good that they are finding out new organisms, and then on one side they're all doing a lot of research on the new organism, putting it on a treatment module, and then finding out whether the antibiotic is working for them or not. They are doing their job. It's okay. But for you and me as a common man, can you prevent the virus coming to you? No. If your immune system is down, it affects you. But if your immune system is good, then what happens? You still can survive even the dreaded disease called cancer. It could be any other major illness. You still can survive. It's not a problem because your system is good and your system can do everything. You know, the best doctor for you in the whole world is your own body. It knows, it is intelligent enough. Please give the due respect to your body and the due time and dedication for your body every day without fail, so that your body will say thank you so much for doing this job. I will take care of you. The heart will say thank you so much. If you can take care of the heart by taking the right vitamins, going for regular exercise and keeping it, you know, in the optimal level, they feel very, very nice. Every part of your body, every cell in your body, they will be very happy. They will be thanking you. But at the same time, you also need to thank your physical organs inside you, right from your heart to your liver. So spend a little time every day before going to bed. Say thank you so much, dear heart, you are doing a wonderful job from morning. Thank you, kidneys, for doing a wonderful. Thank you, intestine, for doing a wonderful job. Thank you, eyes, for making me to see this world. Thank you, ears, for, you know, hearing the sound there. Now, in that way, there are so many beautiful things you can be very, very grateful for and thankful for. So, please do take care of your body. Now, your focus should be on drinking sufficient amount of water every day. Now, here we are not asking you to climb Mount Kinabalu or go to Himalayas, climb there, take the water, and come back and drink. No, isn't it? At your doorstep, you do have your water. Now, all the while we were all drinking water, beautiful. I still remember 20 years ago, we were just drinking filtered water. Other than that, there's nothing much we were talking. But later on, slowly, they were talking about a little bit of ozonated water. I still remember in 2001 to 2003, I was crazy of ozonated water. That time I did buy an instrument, you know, I used to ozonate the water and then drink it. And then later on come magnetized water came in. So I used to buy big magnet and then, you know, keep it in the water container for some overnight, and the next day water, drink the water. So like this, there are a lot of things happening. Then came alkaline water. Then they started bringing water with pH of 9.5. You could get instantly, you know, you press the button, automatically you will get 9.5 pH, 10 pH, 10.5. Wonderful, you know. So there were a lot of good benefits because on one side we were all eating a lot of acidic food. So we did, when you're drinking this kind of situation, the alkaline water, definitely it gave us some lot of good benefits, and a lot of diseases would have been prevented those days. But today, if you talk, yes, there has been good filtration system, there has been alkaline water system, and today, if you are talking about Terra's water is one in the market where it is available. But other than the Terra's water, there's a lot of people talking about hydrogen water. It is there. So there are a lot of things coming into you, so that you are also sometime in a state of confusion which water to drink. Do not get confused too much. What comes to you comes to you. You decide, do you want it or you don't want it? Simple. If you want it, try the water for some time. If you see the benefit, go ahead and drink it. If you don't see the benefit, you look for some other brand or some other thing which is already available, try that water. But let me tell you, most of us doesn't suit with certain situation is because our mindset is already there. The mindset is totally negative. Mindset is like this won't work for me. Mindset is it's too expensive. Mindset is it doesn't work for me. All this mindset, when you have, how your body is going to work. So we need to be a little more positive. In the positive note, definitely drinking sufficient amount of water plays a very, very important, and do not allow the disease to come inside body. Now, terahertz is going to be the future, whether we like it or not. Whether you're going to buy the instrument, don't buy the instrument, you want to drink the water, don't drink the water. It doesn't matter. It is going to be the future because the quality of this particular water is so good. It has been doing a wonderful job in the past 2 years, and there are a lot of people out there who have been coming and sharing on the groups there to, you know, with the benefits. So in that way, there is a lot of positive things happening. So for you to switch over to a healthy journey, if at all you want to recommend anybody to terahertz and then ask them to drink the terahertz water, you have to be very simple and smart. Just tell them you want a healthy journey, you want your body to be healthy, drink terahertz water. That's it. Now, they will say, hey, can you tell me, oh, I'm having diabetes, do you think that this water will help? You say, the simplest way you need to handle, do you want to be healthy or not? They will say yes. Then you tell them, then drink the water. Now, after drinking the water, if you get the benefit that your diabetes getting, little under control, it's good for you. It's a bonus. Your blood pressure is coming down. It's a bonus. Your cardiac function is becoming better. It's a bonus. Your cancer cells have come down. It's a bonus. It's a bonus. That's it. So be happy. But on one side, when you're drinking this water, focus on being healthy. That's it. Because you have 50 trillion cells in your body. Now, in that 50 trillion cells, they need water to drink. They need water for a proper function. So, you are drinking water not looking at a disease. You should drink water looking at a cells which are looking at you. Hey man, drink water. I need water here. If you don't drink water, I'm going to convert myself into a disease. That's what the cell is telling you. So what you need to do, there are a lot of healthy cells looking at, hey, I need more little water. There are a lot of cells out there looking at, hey, if I can get little water, it's so good, let me. But you don't drink sufficient amount of water, then what your cells will be doing? They'll be cursing you. This man doesn't want to drink, then how? So this is where you need to give sufficient amount of water. And this one is such a beautiful, very easy and very easy to carry, and then you don't need electricity, you just need a power bank for you to resonate your water. So resonating is such a easy mechanism for you. So what happens? It has to be your choice, for the reason is the frequency is around 7.6. The normal frequency out there in the market, of course there are a lot of other products available with the frequency will be a little on the higher side, but at the end of the day you're getting such a lower frequency, so why not? And the molecular structure is so low, viscosity is very high. Now there is one word I have put here, if you notice it's a diuretic. What is a diuretic is basically, it's like, you drink beer, what happens? You feel like passing more urine, right? I think guys who are all drinking there, you all will agree with me that when you drink a lot of beer, you will piss and piss and piss, because it is a diuretic, it is a diuretic. So there's a lot of, and you would have seen a lot of people telling you, if you have kidney stones or bladder stones, your friends will tell, hey man, don't worry, just drink every day one mug of beer, I think the stone will all disappear. Now what they try to tell you is because of the diuretic effect of the beer. Now when you drink Tara's water, it has that property of a diuretic. Now out there, people with a little bit of cardiac problem, lung issues or kidney issues, you would have noticed that their doctors would give you a tablet called Lasix. Now when you take the tablet Lasix, it's a diuretic. What will happen is, after you take the Lasix, you will pass more urine. And especially when your legs are swollen, the face is swollen, or eyes are not swollen, the doctor will give you Lasix tablet. So what happens? When you pass urine, the swelling all comes down. So something like that, a diuretic effect, this Tara's resonated water has it naturally. It is not a drug. So when it has a natural facility with that, why not? You should drink it regularly, so that there is a clear washing ceremony happening in your kidneys naturally. So drinking water to be healthy, but preventing disease begins today. So you need to drink water to be healthy, but at the same time, what do you want to do? You want to prevent the disease coming into you. This is another major challenge for you. So out there, youngsters, if at all youngsters, you have your sons and daughters at home, let them know they need to drink sufficient amount. But the same thing I'll be hearing, doctor, I don't drink sufficient amount of water, doctor. I don't want to drink. I don't have time to drink. All these excuses they will be telling, especially the youngsters. But once they get a disease, what they will do? You can't do anything. You have to get back. The doctors will give you a big list of things. You can't do this, you can't do that. So don't wait until things go wrong. Now, prostate health is a very, very important for men above 40 years. You all need to really, really take care of yourself. And one of the reason I have to tell you that as a man, there are some things which you need to, and one of the vitamins which you need to take would be is zinc. Let me go to the next slide and I tell you how do you prevent a particular situation of prostatitis. One is you need to drink sufficient amount of water, because by drinking water you are giving your body a chance to recoup back, rejuvenate back. Your nutrition gets back to normal, and then your cells are functioning normal, detox mechanism happens, your diuretic effect of the water is there, so cleansing is already happening. Then you need to have proper food, and which is more of alkaline, because alkaline food always will help you to wash your kidneys and wash the system, detoxing. And very important, don't hold the urine for a very long time, especially if you're driving long journey. You better stop for a while, go clear your bowel, your urine, because having urine for a very long time in your bladder also will make you to have an infection. And then this, you would have noticed, you drink less water and you're traveling in an aircon vehicle, and then you go to the next destination wherever you are going, and then you try to go to the loo and pass urine. You will either see it's slightly burning, number one. Number two, your urine is high colored. High colored means highly yellow colored, concentrate, and you won't be passing a lot of urine. It will be only 100 ml or 200 ml maximum, and that itself is an indication that you have not drank water for a long time. So don't wait for situation to happen and then you enlighten yourself, and then you want to go and then find out all the Google search, and then get more get more solutions at that time. Don't do that. So if you have symptoms of passing urine frequently, better get your prostate examined, especially if you're 40 plus. And you can have, especially if you're 40 plus, you can have pumpkin seeds regularly at 25 grams, a little bit every day, pop into your mouth and then chew it nicely and then swallow it. It will help you. But there is something here in the general I would like to tell you is, because what I do in my epigenetics, when I check for most of the men, out of 100 people, 90 people will, especially 40 years and above, they will have zinc deficiency. And if you can consume a zinc minimum of 50 milligrams to 100 milligrams is definitely good for you. And especially such of those youngsters who are wishing to get married, and you need your sperms and all of good quality, so better take zinc a little bit, that will help you. But it is always better to know your zinc level in your body, and then you get it done will be better. There you can do your hair analysis, or you can get your bioquantum analysis to know your zinc, how much is there, and then you can add on. And there is one more thing I noticed was, 2 years ago I did have zinc deficiency, which I could pick it up from my hair analysis. Can you believe, it took 2 years for me every day consuming zinc. I have been consuming high quality zinc, and every day for 2 years, and only after 2 years I could reach the optimal level of zinc. So it took 2 years, can you believe this? So it doesn't mean that you just pop in one zinc tablet for 15 days and then you will feel that you will get a lot of zinc. No way. Unless you are a disciplined person taking zinc regularly, that is when you will. Now, for people above 40 years who already have children, and you don't need a quality sperm for me. It's still okay. But I would say you need a quality prostate for you, right? You need to have a proper uh, in men especially, sexual health is very very important. So when you're talking about sexual health also, you need zinc. So for a good prostate and a healthy prostate, your prostate requires zinc supplement as well. So consuming zinc definitely will help you, but always better check how much of zinc is there and then you consume it, is always better. Now saying this, I think I managed to. I was actually wondering what am I going to talk for this 1 hour, but luckily I managed for almost 50 minutes of my time with this, talking to you about the prostate health. So blessing you all in abundance, and then wishing you all a fantastic week ahead. Until I come back with another topic for you all to listen to my Zoom meeting, I take leave. Thank you very much. And Madam Lee, take over. And thank you all. Good night.
Wow.